I think there are people who are misguided trying to drive, Disney stepping in saying, in every episode now they're going to have, Mickey and Pluto going at it. Like, really?
No, not really. That's not going to happen. Or at least I've watched a lot of Disney and I've never seen animals or anyone actually having sex. Although to be fair, it is difficult to know exactly what Ted Cruz is doing there. Is he completely ignorant about Disney content? Is he being completely dishonest about it? Is it sort of a vision board sort of thing? He's putting it out there so that they will produce it? I don't know, because he's a massive liar, he's cringy, he's stupid, and he's weird. It could be any one of those things. Perhaps he'll explain in his next clip.
But it's just like, come on, guys, like these are kids, and you could always shift to Cinemax if you want that. Like why do you have? It used to be, look, I'm a dad. Like, you used to be able to put your kids on the Disney Channel and be like, all right, something innocuous will happen.
That if you put them on the Disney Channel,
it reminds me.
Only innocuous things are going to happen. There's no sex. Again, Adrienne, like I guess it's pointless sometimes to do fact checks. A gay character existing and a straight character existing, is one of those inherently more pornographic than the other?
No, not at all. But by virtue of the fact that a lot of people hypersexualize individuals who aren't heterosexual or cisgender, that's exactly what Ted Cruz is playing on. This thought that I'm going to hypersexualize you just based on your very existence, whether you're doing something sexual or not, because I subscribe to this cis heteronormative ideology. And it also really just shows you how sexualized their mindsets are, as far as I'm concerned. The thought that you would even think of Disney and something sexual together, and you're going to make that a topic of conversation, it's like, I get what you're trying to do, but really this just showcases your shenanigans.
Exactly. By the way, it's not new for him to showcase his shenanigans there. He's apparently been dreaming up scenarios where a cartoon mouse and a dog go at it. Well, I don't know, like if he looks enough, he might be able to find that, by the way, on Reddit. He's found some interesting stuff in the past. Midas Touch parodied something that we're gonna remind people of here with this tweet of, I believe it's porn star Corey Chase looking in and seeing Mickey and who is that? Is that Goofy going at it, or Pluto? Anyway, that's of course a reference, if you don't remember, the time back in 2017 where Ted Cruz's Twitter account liked a porn video of a woman watching two people go at it. The Washington Post was forced at that point to describe the video, which they did as this. It's just over 2 minutes. Details of its contents mostly unprintable. It features a sectional sofa, the pornographic actress Corey Chase, her fictitious nude stepdaughter, and a very energetic young man. Anyway, Ted Cruz is apparently a fan of that. Well, look, he would have you believe it wasn't him that accidentally liked the video. He said there are a number of people on the team that have access to the account, and it appears that someone inadvertently hit the like button. When asked if he had liked the tweet, he said it was a staffing issue and it was inadvertent. It was a mistake. It was not a deliberate action. And you know that a person is being honest when they provide a whole bunch of different reasons for something happened, Adrienne.
Come on, like this has never happened to you, but also how sloppy do you have to be to have liked a porn post when you know you're a senator? Like, come on, did you think there'd be no record of this? It just, I hate our whole puritanical society mentality. Like, people don't enjoy sex. And also there are various things that people do to enhance their sex lives. This is part of being human. This is so normal. Why are the right pushing this whole thought of sex being bad? And especially when they're the ones out involved in a lot of this sexual risque behavior that is things that they condemn. Like, I'm always baffled. But
I'm sure there's a lot of potential explanations for what you just said. I'm not an expert, nor am I a telepath. Looking at Ted Cruz, I find it inconceivable that we could exist in a universe in which he has ever had a sexual experience that the other person enjoyed. So I'm gonna assume that it's just a lifetime of bad sex. That probably will apply to a lot of right-wing pundits. But anyway, by the way, liking a porn tweet is not a bad thing, because there's nothing wrong with porn. there's just something wrong with Ted Cruz. That's the thing. And by the way, I'm inevitably going to do it. So everyone get ready to defend me when that happens. The issue with Ted Cruz is that this is a guy who has tried to ban sex toys previously in Texas. Also, we might take issue with the fact that he liked that porn on 9/11.
Oh my God.
Does that matter?
9/11,
No.
9/11?
Yeah, no, not 2001. It was 9/11 in 2017. And that shouldn't matter, but kind of feels like it does. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with it. There's just something wrong with him. And more so, there's something wrong with the fact that you have a right-wing pundit in Michael Knowles and Ted Cruz there knowingly lying about what Disney is doing to bamboozle and con their audience. And that's why we stress that there is effectively no difference between right-wing politicians and media. They do the same thing. By the way, those two people are co-hosts on a show, so they're making the argument very easy for me. And it's not to say that there aren't genuine bigotries and biases, but it's also strategic. It's not purely strategic. Look, the fact that Michael Knowles can't go one show without demonizing the trans community, that is almost certainly strategic. The fact that I once shared a green room with him and we were standing in silence and he just spontaneously started talking about the trans community, that's personal at that point. There were no cameras on. It was just a highly weird thing on a personal level for a guy to do. And so this is what we're fighting against. They know that they have nothing they want to deliver. There's no economic aid, there's no policy coming. The status quo favors them and they have both been dispatched. Careers have been provided to both of them to defend the status quo. And the most efficient, powerful tool they have is distraction. And if the right-wing population across America is freaked out about Pluto blowing Mickey or whatever, then they're probably not gonna realize that billionaires are getting away with almost literal murder when it comes to tax evasion and things like that. So that's my argument, Adrienne. Any other thoughts about this weird story?
No, I completely agree with your argument in terms of keeping the people busy, bickering about things that should not be consequential, all while you rob them. But also too, this thought that this individual, Mr. Knowles, continues to just spout out things that are anti-trans. It makes me think that there's more going on, because why is that your just kind of go-to thing unless that's something that impacts your own identity and maybe you need to work on those things and just come to terms. And then also too, one thing in that clip that you played where they're sitting on the stage, why is it that the gentleman and Ted Cruz are in these big lounge chairs and then they have the woman sitting in this erect chair? I just thought it was super weird, the setup. I've never watched that show before, but it's like, what is going on there? It's weird. It's weird.
I have no idea. It is definitely weird. I love that those two guys, which definitely are constantly worried about whether they're alpha enough, have chosen seats that like make them look the most like fifth graders possible.
Yes.
Can we go back to a shot that?
That's why I'm like, what the hell? He's swimming in that seat. And I think they really thought that they were in some kind of bro lounge thing.
Yeah.
Where it really just, it dwarfs you significantly.
It dwarfs it.
And then having the woman sit upright. I don't know her position, if she's a regular or that's her role, but it felt very decorative as opposed to substantive, given the positioning of both of them. It just, everything about it just says missing the mark.
Yeah, by the way, I like that style of chair. I just would choose one that was sized to me and didn't look like I was acting out an Alice in Wonderland type situation. I don't know. Sorry, I don't mean to bring up Disney and trigger the right or anything.
Oh no, it's okay. I think Ted Cruz has Alice in Wonderland fantasy.
Who doesn't?
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.